All right, y'all, we are back with another video. And before we start, please put prayers for Donald Trump in the comment section. We must protect President Trump at all time. And it brings me to this video right here where drunk Nancy Pelosi shows up on CNN running her mouth just like she always do. And even though we don't like Jake Tapper, but he have been calling out Kamala Harris for doing these softball interviews, not answering questions. So we will give him credit for that, but we still don't like Jake Tapper. And we got old Kamala Harris. Y'all remember when she said that she prosecuted hundreds of felony cases? She said, I prosecuted hundreds of felony cases. And we all know that is a complete lie. We have some shocking audio towards the end of this video, so please stick around, because if you skip and not watch the entire video, you're going to miss that part where Bill Fazio went off on Kamala Harris for up there lying to the public, talking about that she prosecuted hundreds of felony cases, which we all know that she is a lie. This woman does nothing but lie, and now she's running her entire campaign off identity politics, lying to the public. One day she's black, one day she's Indian. She depending on what crowd she's in front of and who she wants to pander to. But we know for a fact that Kamala Harris is a fraud. She's a liar, and we do not need this woman for president, and we do not want to hear this for another 4 years. Nobody wants to hear that crap. So please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. And let me know in the comment section that you did watch the entire video, because I want y'all to see that audio at the end of this video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into this, y'all, by Liberal Hive Mind.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Nancy Pelosi, Nancy, my Nancy. How I adore Nancy Pelosi. Definitely not as a human being, definitely not as a politician, but just as a character, you know? She's just the content gift that keeps on giving. She's no longer the Speaker of the House. Honestly, by the day, she seems to be less and less relevant, but she's still peak content. It's been years and years of making Nancy Pelosi videos, and they still perform well. It's a fascinating thing. And speaking of Nancy Pelosi being the gift that keeps on giving, Nancy Pelosi once again gifts us a beautiful moment here on CNN where she once again completely loses it. Another don't show that Nancy Pelosi moment. They want so badly to avoid the truth. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me show you guys exactly what happened. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I think this Nancy Pelosi clip is gonna speak for itself. Here's Pelosi sitting down face to face with Jake Tapper at CNN. Just take a look.
I'm sure that you hear from progressive voters, Democratic voters who say, as I hear from them on social media, the media made such a big deal out of Joe Biden's alleged cognitive problems. Why don't they talk about Donald Trump's cognitive problems? Well, Donald Trump talked about that just a second ago, and I want to get your reaction. Let's run that clip.
They laugh at us all over the world. They're laughing at us. And you know what they're really laughing at? Kamala, because they can't believe that she's going to be president. They can't believe. You talk about cognitive problems? She's got bigger cognitive problems than he has, in my opinion.
Donald Trump saying that Kamala Harris has bigger cognitive problems than Joe Biden.
Why would you even cover that? This is a person who's not on the level. He is their nominee for president. He is incompetent.
What?
Let's not even talk about the silliness of it all and the weirdness of it all and the assault on women that it is. We're not going to talk issues. Incompetent. The only thing he did as president, when he had the majority, was to pass a bill that gave a tax cut that gave 83 of the benefits to the top 1%, adding $2 trillion to the national debt. The worst job creation record of anybody president since Herbert Hoover.
Because of COVID, yes.
Why would you even cover that? Yep, that's exactly what you'd expect from Nancy Pelosi. I mean, it's pretty much all the previous thumbnails that I've made. Every time a new January 6th bombshell drops, just in real life, she's doing the thing. Hide the truth. Don't show that. Why would you ever cover that? Why would you ever cover that? I mean, we're in the middle of an election season, lady. Both sides get to say things, and then you got to address it. You know, it's been years of Donald Trump's unfit. Donald Trump's crazy. The 25th Amendment should be used to unseat him from his office. and by the way, that was an effort mostly launched by Nancy Pelosi, it's okay to say that thing targeting Trump, but if it goes the other way, it's unacceptable. He's incompetent, and the news shouldn't even show these clips. Give me a freaking break. It's more censorship.
That's
Democrats
pathetic.
once again show exactly who they are. They're the party of control, the party of censorship. They want to control what people can and can't say, whether it's online or whether it's what shows up on the news broadcasts. Don't play clips of Donald Trump criticizing Kamala Harris. How dare you? That's offensive. What exactly is offensive, though? That's what
because that's the main thing. She would say, it's funny she telling Jake Tapper, why is you playing that? But yet they play clips of Donald Trump all single day and talk crap about him. She don't want to hear Donald Trump say anything about Kamala Harris. Nancy Pelosi should be the one in jail, especially with this visa stuff that she just did. This woman should have been in jail. That's why they don't want Donald Trump to be president, because they know Donald Trump is more likely going to come after them. The same people they out there talking about, we can't let Donald Trump get in office. He going to try to arrest everybody. Ain't that what y'all trying to do to him? Y'all been trying to arrest this man all year since last year coming into this year. Y'all been going after this man, lying on him, calling him Hitler. He had, it was 2 assassination attempts because of the rhetoric that y'all continuously say about this man. Nancy Pelosi is just pathetic.
I'm trying to figure out the truth. I mean, let's be totally honest here. Democrats are pretending as if this statement from Donald Trump is outlandish, but I'd argue it's anything but. It's actually quite accurate. I mean, just yesterday, we were covering internal Teamster data showing support for the Democrat candidate by Teamster union members has shifted anywhere from 10 to sometimes over 30 points the moment Joe Biden dropped out of the race. Kamala Harris is also underperforming compared to Joe Biden in 2020, and even in some polls compared to his recent numbers in 2024. You know, in a way, the voters largely view Kamala Harris as less competent than Joe Biden, but that is apparently offensive. It's not offensive, it's the truth. You know, there's a reason they're hiding Kamala Harris. It's because she's not good at speaking.
And looking holistically at the connection between that and housing. And looking holistically at the incentives we in the federal government can create for local and state governments to actually engage in planning in a holistic manner. I agree.
Damn, how many times is she going to use that word? Holistically. What in the world? Bro, this woman, Trump was right. She cannot talk. Now she done learned a new word. So y'all better get ready. Every other interview, she finna be saying this holistically. Get ready for it.
Grew up understanding the children of the community are the children of the community. And this.
Let me try that. The children of the community is the children of the community. What? The children of the community is the children of the community. You got to be kidding me.
Movement that we're in about, as I like to say, seeing in the face of a stranger a neighbor.
Yes.
Right? An extension of love thy neighbor, that you literally in the face of a stranger see a neighbor.
She's horrible at answering questions. She has no understanding of anything related to the economy or policy in general, and so they're hiding her. You know, it's like I've always said, they're doing the same thing with Kamala Harris as they did with Joe Biden. The whole thing with Joe Biden was to hide him, hide his cognitive decline, because again, he couldn't speak, he couldn't perform. And so the basement Biden strategy was employed. Well, what does it tell you that they're using the basement strategy with Kamala Harris? It tells you she's just as incompetent as he is, except it's even worse because she doesn't have an excuse. Meanwhile, Joe Biden does. I'm going to say that Trump statement gets a fact check true. You know, Joe Biden in his old age, he's certainly falling apart. He's absolutely incompetent. He's unfit to serve as president. But Joe Biden, the man, the politician, is no slouch. You know, if we get old clips of Joe Biden speaking, he was a very capable, I'd even argue, an extremely talented politician.
To put it in very personal terms for a moment, Joe Biden, me, I would settle for a world in which I could worry about the same kinds of things that my parents worried about, in which I only had to worry about the grades my children got in school rather than the drugs they're being exposed to, in which I only had to worry about the prices my wife had to pay at the supermarket instead of fearing that she might get mugged by a junkie in the parking lot as she loads her groceries into the car, in which tonight I could call my mom just to wish her pleasant dreams, not for the purpose of making sure she's safe in her own home. That's the kind of world I want. That's the kind of world you deserve.
Joe Biden at one point in time was a competent, intelligent human being. Kamala Harris at no point in time was a competent, intelligent human being. I mean, it's still a mystery to the world how she ended up where she is today. Nobody can explain it. You know, the left will go on and they'll say, well, Kamala Harris, she's the most qualified person for the job, but she isn't. She wasn't a good student. That we already know. Her career was given to her on a silver platter by her then boyfriend, Willie Brown. I know Democrats love to dispute this, but more information continues to drop. We're learning a lot about Kamala Harris and her illustrious career. The Daily Mail did an expose recently. Kamala Harris said she worked her behind off under ex-lover Mayor Willie Brown, but new information about her time there reveals the truth. Kamala Harris was frequently absent from California Medical Assistance Commission meetings, even though she was appointed to the position by her boyfriend at the time and then Assembly Speaker Willie Brown. Harris and Brown dated for about a year when she was 29 years old, working as a lawyer for the Alameda District Attorney's Office, and he was the powerful speaker who ran for mayor of San Francisco at the age of 60. She dated a man who was 31 years her senior, and then just magically walked into a position, a very lucrative position, where she didn't even show up for work. Brown appointed Harris to the...
Didn't show up for work, and she was still getting paid a lot of money. That's how she got in the position where she's at. They were talking about, she's so capable, she's so qualified to do the job. She's so qualified that she didn't win any primaries. She didn't have to go against anybody. The job was just giving to her, just gave to her. She didn't have to work for it. It's like, come on, man. The spot Donald Trump is in now is because he went through the process against other candidates and won. She didn't have to go against anybody. They took Joe out and just threw her in.
CMAC position in 1994, drawing some criticism from impropriety despite Brown's willingness to publicly flaunt accusations of political patronage. Harris had already served 6 months on the Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board, a job that paid $97,000 annually back in 1994, but resigned to take the new position with CMAC. It's unclear why Harris missed so many meetings, as she took leave from her job as the Alameda County District Attorney's Office, according to the Los Angeles Times. So she got a cushy job that matched her salary. She was paid a great deal of money, $99,000 annually, again back in 1994. And all told, Harris made over $400,000 over the 5-year period working that job that was handed to her. And, you know, just to add a little bit more context, the job required that board members meet twice a month. It wasn't even a full-time position. She only had to show up twice a month, and she couldn't even do that, but got paid over $400,000. Yeah, a real hard worker, a real capable, competent person who and
then she get to hollering, I grew up in the middle class. No, you was given all of this money. I ain't have to show up at two times and couldn't do that and was still getting paid all this money and then get in front of the camera, act like you was working at McDonald's. You grew up in the middle class. You from the hood. Just straight lies. She tried to put herself in position where she think other people are going through to make them want to say, you know what, let me vote for Kamala Harris. Since she went through what I'm going through now. That's what she's trying to do. The woman is a liar. And I know a lot of people see it. You see straight through it. She's lying.
Clowns in the media are claiming is the most qualified person to ever run for office.
Kamala Harris is more than ready for this moment. She is one of the most qualified people ever to seek the office of the presidency.
But we have to remember, Vice President Harris is one of the most qualified people.
If she's one of the most qualified people, why didn't she win? Why didn't she win the right way? She didn't get any delegates, any primary. She didn't get nothing. Nobody voted for her. The position Joe Biden had because Joe Biden won to get there. She ain't won nothing. Nobody voted for her. So if she's so qualified, how come she couldn't do it? These people say anything on CNN.
To run in decades.
It's just crazy, and honestly, there's a common denominator here. Kamala just kind of walking into positions of power just because. I mean, she's the presidential nominee for the Democrat Party, but there wasn't even an election. She just gets placed in these places. She fails upwards. I mean, qualified, competent, my derriere. And actually, it gets even worse. We're also learning a whole lot about Kamala Harris's history as a prosecutor. Jeff Clark on Twitter writes, yesterday I'd promised my followers to run a search to see if Kamala Harris had ever argued any appeals, ever, even just one. I got busy, but now have completed that task. The short answer is no, never. I could not find any evidence that she had ever argued an appeal. I mean, this guy went through the entire government database. He claims the first part of that Boolean search finds the universe of all cases where Kamala Harris, including Kamala D. Harris and Kamala Devi Harris, or any other potential variant of her name appears. Then the second part of the search narrows that universe down to cases where the word argues appears within 2 words of her name. The search returns only 5 cases, see the pictures from below. Then I manually checked each of the 5 cases returned by the search. In each of those, one of her subordinates argued, not her. See, for example, the second picture below, noting that her subordinate, Steve Oding, was the one who argued Flournoy versus Small in the 9th Circuit, one of the 13 federal circuits. And this isn't new news. Kamala Harris has been challenged on this issue since back in the early 2000s, when Bill Fazio accused her of lying when she said that she had prosecuted hundreds of felony cases.
I'm glad you corrected me. Ms. Harris, how many cases have you tried? Can you tell us how many serious felonies you have tried? Can you tell us one?
I've tried about 50 cases, Mr. Fazio, and it's about leadership.
Ms. Harris, why does your information, which is still published, say that you tried hundreds of serious felonies? I think that's misleading. I think that's disingenuous. I think that shows that you are incapable of leadership and you're not to be trusted. You continue to put out information which says you have tried hundreds of serious felonies.
Mr. Fazio, leadership
Can you answer my question?
Working with different communities. As a career prosecutor, I've done that, which is why I, not you, have every law enforcement organizations.
She hasn't.
See, that's the thing right there. That's the reason why CNN, they don't want to push back on when you put her in the corner and just tell her, hey, you're lying. The guy said, she said she tried 50 cases. The guy said, well, why did you telling people that you tried hundreds of felony cases, knowing that you didn't? They're just trying to make your resume look good. It's like, stop all the freaking lying. Straight lying. Just got caught up.
Prosecuted all of these cases. She doesn't have this illustrious career. She hasn't ever even argued an appeal, but somehow she magically finds herself in these positions of extreme power and leadership despite never having earned it. You know, I actually wasn't expecting the video to go this direction, but honestly it was probably for the best of the video. Nancy Pelosi is appalled. You know, that seems to be the Democrat response to all this stuff. Willie Brown, how offensive, you're a sexist. You're a sexist if you question anything. You should be censored if you claim that Kamala Harris is incompetent. But the facts obviously show that Kamala Harris isn't exactly a top talent now, is she? I'm giving Donald Trump's statement a fact check true. Kamala Harris is more incompetent than Joe Biden is. And for a very long time, this was a unanimous understanding. I mean, even the left understood this.
How big a drag is Kamala Harris on the ticket?
I think she's a pretty big jag. I think she was arguably Biden's worst political decision of his presidency to pick her in the first place.
But now apparently it's offensive and should be censored, and Nancy Pelosi's throwing a tantrum at the idea that we'd have the conversation to begin with. What an absolute joke. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you.
There you go right there. Salute to Liberal High Mind. Make sure y'all go to Liberal High Mind channel. Go subscribe to him. Let him know in the comment section that I sent you. Make sure y'all hit that like button as well for him. He does a great job, but I definitely had to show y'all this. Even when you see that shocking audio, it's because the thing is, this right here's the type of audio that Kamala Harris, she don't want this type of stuff resurfacing and people are able to see it and say, oh, this is what you said back then. I've tried hundreds of felony cases, and just sitting up here blatantly lying. And she do not like any of this stuff being replayed when we can go back from 2000 and stuff, like when she was talking about walking in people's house, taking their guns, making sure that they doing the right thing, just all type of stuff. And then she get right on camera and say, I never said I was going to take anybody's guns. I never said that. Just lying. And she going to continue to do it. We can't allow a liar in the White House. You telling me this woman been in office 4 years? And ain't been to the border one time, and 30-something days left for election, she decided to go. And then when she did go, it was only for 20 minutes, just for a photo op, just to show her walking with the police officer and getting a picture taken. This woman is fake. Don't let this woman just sit up here and lie to y'all, because that's what she's doing, but we see straight through it. We got to get President Trump back in the White House if we want to make America great again. And that's just the way it is. So like I said, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure you got your notifications turned on. That way you don't miss out on any of the videos, because we definitely got more content coming and I don't want you to miss out. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.